Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this event, one in a series of our Spotlight events. So look out for others in the coming months and next academic year if you're still with us. My name is Philippa Fairfax, and I am one of the employability advisors that works here at Sheffield Hallam Uni. So I'm just doing a brief intro, but I can't take credit for this event. It is my colleagues Alison Money and Rachel Leonard who've set this event up. So and they will be sort of managing the event to make sure that it runs smoothly, as I'm sure it will. If we just so if you could go to the next slide, Alison, if that's okay. So this event is 4:30 till 6. I've just got a couple of sort of housekeeping bits and pieces to go through with you. Please, the usual rules kind of apply. If you could keep your sound muted, and we'd recommend you keep your video off as well. We are going to ask you to put any questions in the chat function rather than unmuting yourself. We're quite a large group today, which is great, but it would help us if you could make sure that you put any questions that you have as we're going through in the Teams chat function. We may not get to them straight away, but we will be sure to go through them before the end of the session. So as you're thinking of things and as you're getting questions together, put them in the chat, and then those can go to the panel at various points during the event. Okay, this session is being recorded, so if you do have any colleagues who you know weren't able to make it today, then we will have a recording of this event that we can share with you, and it will go on our YouTube site as well. Okay, next slide please. So yeah, just to reiterate that there is going to be a lot of information giving as part of this session. So we've got our speakers who are here to inform you about opportunities and their organisations really, and the opportunities within those. But if you have questions, we really do want to get those from you to make it as participative as possible. So to put those in the chat on Teams. And just to reiterate again that, yeah, I'm doing this initial bit, but Alison and Rachel are really responsible for all the organisation of this event. Thanks, Alison. So how do you get the most from these events? So I always think it's really important to think about that, because this is a really unique opportunity. We've got people who have given up their time to talk about the organisations that they work for and to give you useful insights and information. So to try and make sure you get the most out of this event, think about the questions that you've got for them. Could write them down initially and then put them in the chat. Oh, the slides have gone, Alison. There we go. Ask questions in the chat. So, the chances are that something you're thinking of, someone else is also thinking that. So please put them in. And then think about sort of follow-up activity from this event. Can you do more research, whether it's into that particular sector, whether it's into those specific organisations? Might you want to follow them on their social media? Might there be individuals that you want to connect with on LinkedIn? And obviously you can book onto future events that we're hosting and, search for vacancies with these organisations and similar as you go through your time here at Hallam. So yeah, think about how you can get the most out of this event. So the title of this event is obviously Careers with a Conscience, and that's pretty self-explanatory, but essentially we're looking, can you just click it once or twice more? I think just click it all the way through. So obviously with these spotlight events, we aim to give them a theme around a particular perhaps sector or set of sectors. And obviously with this one, we're thinking about people who may be interested in a career where you can actually make a difference, a fundamental difference to your fellow human beings, so in society. So these are organisations where perhaps you wouldn't choose to go to work for them purely for monetary terms, because they offer so much more as well. But they are organisations where you could be certainly giving back to society in some way, but actually, earning a living in doing so. So we've grouped together a whole set of organisations, and they're going to tell you about different, about themselves, and about the opportunities they offer and why you might want to consider applying to them, and obviously to give you the opportunity then to put questions in the chat. Okay, so this is the running order. Obviously we're just talking I'm just talking concisely, and I'm going to get out of the way and let our speakers speak. So we've got representatives from a whole range of fantastic organisations who are going to introduce themselves and explain about their organisation and their roles. And then at the end of the event, we are going to just tell you a little bit more about some things that are coming up that it would be worth you knowing about. And I know Rachel and Alison are just going to finish off the event at that stage. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to our first speaker, who is Claire Parkinson from Teach First. Okay. Thanks,
yeah,
Claire.
thank you. Thank you. So as I chat through today, I'm just going to pop a link in the chat box for you where you can sign up to our mailing list so that you can be kept in the loop about any events or anything else, any deadlines that we've got going on. So I've just popped that in there for you now. So yeah, my name's Claire and I'm a university recruiter for Teach First. So Teach First is the largest graduate recruiter in the UK, but more than that, we're a social charity and we were set up to try and make education more fair. At the moment, the most reliable determiner of how a child does at school is not their passion, it's not their hobbies or their interests, it's their postcode and how much their parents earn. So children from a lower income background are statistically more likely to leave school without the qualifications that they need for further education or to go into employment. And for example, 78% of children from a low income background will not come out of school with a grade C or a pass grade in GCSE, English and maths. So we know that's not fair. And you guys might have heard more recently in the news some stories about education inequality. So we had Marcus Rashford in the pandemic, who did an amazing job at raising money for free school meals and campaigning. And we also had things like access to tech for when the schools closed. And during those school closures, the gap between students and their more wealthy peers became more obvious. So the more wealthy peers might have had things like time and support and space and resources to study at home. And they might also have had the safety that children from lower income backgrounds just aren't guaranteed. It's actually estimated that 10 years of work to level out educational inequality between the richest and poorest children was reversed during the pandemic. So that's why we were established and why we exist. So what do? Well, we have a 2-year graduate training programme, which is what we're best known for. And on our graduate training programme, our trainees will be placed in a school in one of those really disadvantaged communities that really need inspirational leaders. When you're in the school, you will be trained as a teacher and a leader, and you'll have support from Teach First, from your school, and also from a mentor that will guide you through the process. When you come onto the training programme, you will train and you'll receive a free PGDE, which is worth double the credits of a PGCE, and you'll come out with qualified teacher status. And there's also the option to go on and study a master's at a reduced cost if that's something that you would like to pursue. You learn on the job at Teach First. So one of the really unique things I think about the programme is that you start making a difference, you start building those relationships with pupils, and you do all of that from day one. So the other amazing part of our training programme is that we have a huge network. So we've got over 14,000 students that have trained with us. And out of our network, we've got 83 head teachers. We are 7 times more likely to have students go into senior leadership positions, which we think is absolutely fantastic. At Teach First, you will have a salary from day one, as well as getting that free PGDE while you train. So there's lots of different benefits. Some people stay in teaching, which is fantastic, but you can also look into other routes. So we've got partners with people like Amazon, PwC, Rolls-Royce is another one of our partners. And the leadership skills that you kind of develop while you're on the training program are going to really set you up to go further in those types of careers. So to anyone is just to get that application in as early as you can. So the earlier the better is our sort of motto at the minute. For example, history, it has already closed, and primary is sort of heading that way as well. For those of you who might not be in your final year or you might not be a master's student, we also have our taster program. So that's if you are thinking, you know what, I'm really interested in this, but I'm not quite there yet. you can come and do a 2-day taster session. They run throughout the year. And that's a really good chance to boost your confidence. You get employability workshops from us, and we'll help you with any future job applications. And once you complete the taster session, you will then be fast-tracked through our graduate scheme if you decide that you'd like to apply. So you'll go straight to our development centre. And I'll also pop a link to our taster programme in the box for you as well now. So if anyone has any further questions, I'm going to put my LinkedIn details in the box, so you can reach out, pop me a message over. If you want to have a chat about the programme, just let me know. But yeah, I'm going to hand back to Sheffield Hallam now, but thank you so much for having me and letting me come along.
Thanks so much, Claire. I'm just going to say hello now to Adam from South Yorkshire Police, who's going to kick us off with their presentation, I think.
Great, thank you for that. So just a very quick introduction. I know we're conscious of time. My name's Adam Spate. I'm a talent and acquisition advisor at South Yorkshire Police. I handle police officer recruitment, primarily the degree holder entry programme that we have. And I've got my colleague Julie Swift with me, who's also an advisor working on the police staff side. So I'm going to whiz through the officer side of the presentation, and then I'll move on. I'll let Julie hand over for the staff side. So at South Yorkshire Police, we've gone through a bit of a change recently where we've got new entry routes. If you could just go on the next slide, please. We've got 3 entry routes for police officer programmes, one being the police constable degree apprenticeship, which is for those without a degree, but I'm primarily going to focus on the degree holder entry programme because I know you're all working towards have a degree already. That is a 2-year training programme where you're learning from day one, and it's academic learning with occupational based development as well, so you're learning on the job. You are an officer from day one, but you are also doing classroom studies. It's delivered in partnership between South Yorkshire Police, our operational police training team, and Sheffield Hallam University. So there will be days where you actually do have to go back to university and participate in lectures. For the degree holder entry programme, if you can just move to the next slide, the academic eligibility, it's assessed by Sheffield Hallam University, although we will look at it as best we can when you do apply. For the degree holder, it's academic requirement of level 6 qualifications in any subject area, although we have just recently recruited for a detective degree holder entry programme where we were looking for a desirable criteria of a degree in the following areas that are listed on the slide. We also accept relevant policing experience if there is anyone that doesn't have a degree for the police constable degree apprenticeship. The eligibility overall for both officer and staff roles, we're looking for candidates aged 17 and above to apply, but you need to be 18 before we can start you on a course or start you in a job for staff roles. For officer roles, you need to have a full manual UK driving licence. Applications will be accepted from candidates that already have this, but you need to have your test booked in the near future. You must have resided in the UK for 3 continuous years in order to apply, and you must have leave to enter or leave to remain in the UK for an indefinite period. You can't have tattoos on your head, face, neck or hands. Visible tattoos on forearms or visible in an open collared / short sleeve shirt must be covered whilst on duty. Tattoos which could be deemed inappropriate or could cause offence would not be accepted. We do, however, give consideration for if you're willing to have your tattoos removed. So if you have got any invisible areas, if you're willing to get it removed, you can still apply. You can't be a member of the BNP, National Front or Combat 18. So joining South Yorkshire Police, I'll focus on the degree holder entry programme for this. Salary will either start on 21,000 or 24,000, depending on experience. This would rise to 41,000 once you've reached the top of a police officer band, which usually takes around 7 or 8 years. You also get a qualification in professional policing practice, which is funded by the force, so there are no additional fees to pay for this. You start off with annual leave entitlement of 22 days, increasing with length of service, plus bank holidays, generous police pension, access to an employee assistance service, training and development opportunities. So once you've completed your initial 2 years training, you can go down different routes, whether you want to go into firearms, CID, dog handling, if the opportunities are available. Employee assistance program covering a wide range of health, wellbeing and lifestyle issues. Support and advice from our occupational health support team and a range of staff associations, and access to a range of services including Charitable Trust and Police Mutual. There are also established staff support groups for all members of policing, including family, Association of Muslim Police, Women's Network, LGBT+, Disability Support Group, Christian Police Association, and many more. There are also numerous sports and social clubs. Just to go off on a tangent, my partner has actually just joined South Yorkshire Police, and she's joined the boxing club as part of those sports and social. So there's lots of opportunities outside of just the job to socialise and also improve your lifestyle. Some additional benefits for working for SYP. We offer generous annual leave, family leave, and also we have voluntary continuous professional development events for all staff to allow continuous development. For example, some people within the HR team have gone on to do a CIPD qualification funded by the force. Mentoring and coaching scheme, paid professional subscriptions when relevant to the role, access to a range of occupational health facilities, sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied, employee assistance service, which is available 24/7, additional benefits for Westfield Health members. We also run every so often a cycle to work scheme, so it'll help you get a bicycle if you want to do cycle into work, sports and social club, as I mentioned, and a generous pension scheme. I'm going to hand over to Julie now, who's going to cover the staff side of the presentation.
Thank you, Adam. So my name is Julie Swift. I'm a talent acquisition advisor, as Adam's explained, but I look after police staff. So with any organisation, we've got a host of staff roles that are available, some that we regularly recruit to, or call handlers, investigation officers, intelligence analysts. As well as that, we have a whole host of roles that you might expect to find in any organisation, such as payroll assistants, building engineers, legal officers, and obviously the IT side of things. So we cover numerous departments within our organisation, payroll, crime, specialist crime services, the IT side of things. So as I say, there's numerous departments within. What we find is people will join our organisation, say as in one particular role, and then change to something else that they realise is available. So it's a good way of upskilling and finding new roles. So to be interested in applying for a role, what happens is a line manager will identify that it has a vacancy. So he will contact our department and we will advertise that role for them. So normally we'd advertise on our website for approximately 2 weeks. The best advice I can give you is to visit our website and to sign up for job alerts. If you looked at the website today, you might have a look on there and think there's nothing of interest to you, but that could well change tomorrow because we are updating our website on a daily basis. So my advice would be to sign up for those job alerts. So we often run recruitment campaigns for the roles such as I've mentioned, investigations officers and call handlers, and we do have a lot of interest in these roles. So when we advertise a role, along with the advert, we have what we call a role profile. On that role profile, it will give you more information about that specific role, and it will have a list of essential criteria. So if you meet the essential criteria, then you are likely to be invited for an interview from that line manager. If you were successful, we would go through obviously pre-employment checks, which include vetting, medical clearance and references. Just going back to talking about the role profile, what our staff roles are based upon the College of Policing, the competency and values framework, and details of that can be found on College of Policing website. We do have an email address. It's recruiting at South Yorkshire at southyorks.pnn.police.uk. So if there's any questions that you'd like, or you're struggling a little bit maybe on our website with the electronic application form, then we are more than happy to help you at any stage. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Julie. I'm just going to, we've got Helen from Ruskin Mill Trust now who's going to talk to us. So I'm just going to stop sharing the presentation because Helen's just going to chat with us here. So I'm just going to spotlight Helen for everyone. Okay, there you go.
Brilliant, thank you. Hi everybody, I'm Helen, I'm from Ruskin Mill Trust. I cover all their recruitment for the trust. It is based in all over the UK. It's been for over 30 years. It's a charity. It's founder of Angus Gordon. It's a care and education. We have 13 sites nationwide, so we are England, Scotland, Wales, but we do have 2 particular sites in Sheffield, which is where I'm based. One of the sites is children from the age of 16 up into 19, and then we have a college which is just in the city centre near to the train station, that is from the age of 16 to 25. We basically provide an alternative care and education to adults and children who have not managed to stay in the mainstream school. This can be for various reasons. You know, it's children that perhaps have the learning disabilities, you know, autism, behavioural, and there's several aspects to it. So we offer an alternative education to that. It's actually called practical therapeutic skills education, which is just an alternative, like I say, to the mainstream. So it's that we offer a more relaxed education rather than a classroom environment. So it could be that we do a lot of crafts, we do a lot of metal work and weaving and felting, jewellery making, catering. We also offer the students can go out and into our social enterprises. So we have a cafe that's attached to the college, where the students can go and work and experience, you know, the everyday work life. So it is a mix of the care and the education sector. We also have residential houses in Sheffield, again around both sites. This is where students will stay, you know, 24/7 with us. So the roles that we are looking for currently is the residential support worker for child and adult, young adult. These roles again are based around the Sheffield city centre and the Never Edge S7 area. They are quite flexible roles with the rota that they do, which would fit alongside you know, your rota that you have and your you know, sort of uni rota. So we can offer nights, days, sleep-ins, weekends. So it is a lot of flexibility around that. We also have teaching assistant posts available, which is something that you don't have to be particularly qualified in. It could just be that you're working towards the teacher, need that experience. So we would, you know, open to, again, applications that come through for that. That's our school in the Nether Edge area. They offer, like I say, a lot of flexibility around the rotas and things like that. Let me just have a look what else we've got. We also have a lot of specialised roles, so it doesn't mean that we only do the residential side. It could be that we have a tutor role, we have teacher roles, so it is quite a vast area of what we cover. What we look for really in a person for these roles is someone who is caring, passionate about education and care, passionate, making a difference to people's lives. They, you know, have a genuine interest in the trust and what we do, and the sort of craft sessions and things like that. We do offer placements for students, which is something that I have just picked up with the uni. So we can look at placements if that was something rather than paid employment as a job. We can do that. We offer in return, we have quite a good benefit scheme. We offer 33 days annual leave depending on the hours that you're contracted to. That rises up to 38 days. We, like I say, we have a flexible rota, so we can work round your rota. In essence, it has to work both ways, but we do have a lot available, like I say, days, nights, weekends and things like that. We also have the teaching assistant role, which is Monday to Friday, and it's, you know, you can do it part-time. So yeah, we do craft workshops, so regularly we like all our staff to do craft sessions with the students, and this can be anything from metal work down to the farm work up at our high rig site in Stannington in Sheffield, again with the students, and just training sessions on term time, not when they're in term time. So yeah, we can take those sessions. We do full pay for all your training, and we do a full 2-week induction. The full 2-week induction covers everything from your safeguarding training to MAPA training, to, like I say, the craft workshops and meeting the students and other staff. So that's all in there. It's quite a thorough induction, which is really, really useful. I find a lot of staff sometimes have been to other jobs or other roles and they've only had a day or two. So the 2 weeks is really, really good to get to know everybody. We have a full learning and development team, and this is in-house training that we can provide. We actually do our own degree, and also you know, we can do it external as well. So there's lots and lots of training that we can offer, and progression within roles. So there is always a lot of progression where you can go to. Company pension, we have that. And cycle to work scheme, we also have the cycle to work scheme. Anyone can take that. It is just after your probation's finished. So and the best one for me, which I think is great, is free lunches. So you never have to think about what to bring for your dinner, so you get free lunches in term time, so that's always great. I will put all our details in the chat. So I will put the link to our website, but I'll leave my details in there. I'm absolutely okay if anyone wants to contact me with regards to any questions, anything like that. Even if you just want to have a look at the placement, if you don't want the paid employment, I'm more than happy to answer anything. I'm sorry that I didn't have the slides ready. I have been off poorly, so I do apologise. So you've had to listen to me babble on, but I am more than happy to, if I've sort of gone through things quickly, I'm more than happy to talk to you directly. If you want to contact me just one-to-one, that's absolutely fine. I'll run through or send you any information that's needed. But that's great. Thank you all, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Helen. That was great. So we're going to hand over now to Tahib, who's going to talk to you about the Police Now programme. I'm just going to get my slides back up. Give me a second.
Thank you, Alison.
Okay.
Thank you, Alison. Hello, everybody. My name is Toyi. I'm a student like you. I'm a student of Sheffield Hallam. I'll just talk to you briefly about Police Now. Police Now is an independent, non-profit national charity with a mission to transform communities by recruiting and developing diverse leaders in policing. Police Now is focused on developing a new generation of inspiring leaders from a diverse background. Now, Police Now is currently offering a 2-year national leadership program, and they are keen on taking Sheffield Hallam students like you. Why this role? You'll be supporting vulnerable communities across England and Wales. So that is why I would encourage all students to apply for this role, because on this role you also get hands-on experience, and the minimum you just need to do is just to have a 2-1 in your undergraduate studies to apply. And you also need to have skills like resilient skills, emotionally intelligent, and if you also want to improve on your problem-solving skill, I would urge you to apply for this role. What I would also do is I'll drop a text on the chat function, so you could just click on the link to make you apply, or you could scan the barcode that is shown on the screen. Thank you very much. Yeah, on the next slide here, this also shows the benefits for if you apply for Police Now and the benefits you can get from working with Police Now. There is a structured route into policing with all personal support and leadership development. Another opportunity is to make a difference. If you are keen about making a difference in the community and society you're living in, this is a perfect opportunity for you. Another one is opportunity to make real change whilst acquiring transferable skills. You on this job, you'll be able to achieve hands-on experience, and I'll urge everyone to apply. Thank you very much, Alison. I'll drop the link and my Instagram handle on the chat function in case of any follow-up messages.
Thank you. Thanks, Tahib. That's great. We're going to send a follow-up email as well with any useful links, etc., and information. That's wonderful. Thank you. So we're going to move on to Alison now from Bag It, Don't Bin It. So I'll just going to talk to us.
Hi there. Can you hear me all right? Okay, so I'm Alison. I'm Alison Williams. I'm the HR manager here at Bidby, part of the people team. And for anyone that doesn't know what Bidby is, we are actually a printers and manufacturer of an eco-friendly alternative to the plastic bag. So we are quite well known for making cotton bags. So ironically, I don't have one on hand to show you, but I do have some of the cushion covers in the background. So we are a team of 50 people based here in Sheffield, quite a creative bunch. So we have a number of roles here, which are made up from designers, from our master printers, our screen makers. We have people that work in our sales department. So we have a number of sales account managers. But our primary focus is to work and provide something that is fairly traded and sustainable. We're also proud members and are accredited with the Global Organic Textile Service, or GOTS as we would call it. These are some on the slide, some of our accreditations that we work really hard to to have achieved and to be able to maintain those. So it's quite important to us that as we take people on board and people become part of the Bidby family, that your ethos is similar, that we're looking to find these alternatives and try and reduce where possible our carbon footprint. That said, and I like to be quite upfront and be transparent about things. Part of the roles, some of the roles that I am advertising, and I will talk to you about on the next slide shortly, particularly within our sales team, we do attend various trade shows and we do attend those internationally as well. So we've just had a team of people out in New York, quite a successful trade show. So we try and make sure that some of our other business activity offsets where we need to, from a commercial point of view, send people on international travel. That said, we've not done it for a couple of years because of COVID. So we have welcomed being able to reintroduce that recently. So if you would kindly move on to my second slide, that would be great. Thank you. So we have an abundance of roles, but the 3 roles I actually have live and active, and these can be accessed now using the handshake system as well, are roles within our sales account team. I am looking for a number of sales account managers to join us. With competitive starting salaries plus fully uncapped commission schemes that we operate as well, which are quite lucrative. Also got a graphic designer position with us as well. Something that's quite exciting about that design team is we have a real eclectic mix of different styles of design. So it's really good if you are interested in that, please share your portfolio with us so that we can see the type of work that you do, because we will probably have a client that would be really interested in the style that you have. And we are always looking for printers to join our team, people that want to learn the art of a master printer here. We have an abundance of state-of-the-art technologies. We are one of the 2 people in Europe that have a particular print machine which allows us to create really high quality goods for our clients and things that will last, and that obviously ultimately will be last a long time and be sustainable. And we do have starting rates for them are based on national minimum wage, national living wage, I should say, but we do have a pay matrix and a skills and development program which allows our printers to sort of train with some of our master printers and increase their salary as well while they're working with us. So great things about working with Bidby is obviously we are here in Sheffield. I'll always fly the flag for our great city. So we work here together. We've got some really great learning and development opportunities. We have, I believe, competitive starting salaries as well, access to extra holiday days. We do have a flexible working environment as well, which like many others and the people that are joining us today have probably put to the test running at the deep end a couple of years ago, but realised the benefits of being able to work a lot more fluid, which is helpful. The picture that you can see on there that I've put on the slide is one of the most recent ones, and it was taken in 2019 of all the team together, because we haven't sort of gone back to being in close proximity with people for such a long time. But you can apply for our jobs in a number of ways. So if you are interested, we are on the handshake system, as I mentioned before, or I'll put my details on the chat function where you can send your interest. By all means, send a CV, but we like to hear from people about what it is they're interested in, why you think you would be a really good fit for Bidby. And just to sort of pick up on what I know Julie from South Yorkshire Police had said earlier, really similarly, we have people that come into Bidby on one particular role and develop and have moved around into different roles. So we've got a real hive of multi-skilled creative people here, and it's really good to be a part of that. So they are my slides. Thank you for listening to me. And obviously, if anyone's got any questions directly, I'll take a look in the chat function and respond. Is that okay?
That's great. Thank you so much, Alison. That's wonderful. Just to say, there'll be a little bit more information about Handshake later as well. So thanks for mentioning that.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay. Just move on there now to the Civil Service Fast Stream. So Claire's going to talk us through this.
Hi everyone, good afternoon, hopefully you can hear me. So I am Jess and I'm here today to talk to you a bit about the civil service and the fast stream, which is our graduate scheme. So yeah, as I said, I'm Jess, I'm actually in my second year on the civil service fast stream. So I graduated from uni back in 2020, so I'm just in my second year in the world of work, so I can all relate to you guys so much. I was in your position just a few years ago, attending careers events like this, not sure what to do. And yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to you a bit about the civil service and the fast stream today. So could I have the next slide, please? Fantastic. So the civil service is one of the largest employers in the UK, and it basically supports the government of the day to implement its policies. And now, I didn't really know what the civil service was, to be honest, when I was at uni. But it's so vast. It's one of, as it says, one of the largest employers in the UK. So there are, thousands and thousands of civil servants all across the UK working in completely different roles. So I just really want to emphasise how varied a career in the civil service can be. And basically, things like everything from, the number of hospital beds that there are to, what you learn in school when you're 5, or anything like that, all kind of strategically led and thought about and implemented through the civil service. So it basically touches kind of all parts of our lives. And civil servants work across the UK and abroad as well to promote and protect Britain's interests. And kind of civil servants help to shape decisions that affect everyone's lives and just deliver public services that we all rely on, like hospital beds and school resources and things like that. So the fast stream is kind of one of the main graduate schemes that you can take part in the civil service. So It's a really good entry route into the civil service, but it is by no means the only way to be a civil servant. But on the fast stream, you do get the opportunity to kind of try out lots of different roles and departments. So you might have heard of like the Department for Health and Social Care. They've been at the front of battling the COVID crisis over these past couple of years. Or you might have heard of the Department for Education, Cabinet Office, the Home Office. There are, you know, about dozens of government departments which fast streamers rotate around, usually spending about a year in each department. So the fast stream is basically a 2 to 4 year leadership program. I'll talk in a minute about why it's 2 to 4 years, but it's because there are 15 different specialist and general schemes. So there's not just like one fast stream, just like there's not just one civil servant. There's literally thousands of different kinds of jobs and different kinds of civil servants. So, and on the civil service fast stream, you'd get a mixture of formal training and on-the-job learning in a variety of postings across the civil service. And there are 1,200 places each year across all the schemes on the civil service fast stream. Could I have the next slide, please? Oh, brilliant, we're already on there. As I said, there are 15.
Hello, can you hear me? I think we've lost Jess. Hold on one second.
Oh, I think I'm back, hopefully.
All right, yeah, you're back.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Amazing. I'll keep
Welcome
my
back.
camera off for now, but I was just saying that there are 15 different schemes and you can see some of them on here. I think I just really want to emphasize the variety and that each of these schemes that you're seeing on the screen has slightly different salaries, entry requirements, but I can talk broadly that your base salary on the civil service fast stream is £28,000 a year, and your the eligibility requirements are that you must be a UK citizen or have right to work in the UK. But again, there are some exceptions there. So I've put in the chat just earlier on the civil service fast stream link, and it's all in the FAQs on there, the details about eligibility requirements for each of these schemes. Yeah, and some are 2 years, some are 3 years, most are 3 years, but some are 2 years and some are 4 years. So again, it's about your interests and kind of what you're interested in and what you're eligible for. And most require just a 2-2 in your degree, but again, there are some that have much more strict requirements. For instance, the Government Economic Service, I'm pretty sure you need a 2-1 in an economics related degree. But yeah, so I'm actually a generalist. I graduated with a 2-1 in sociology a couple of years ago, and yeah, I'm really enjoying my time on the scheme. Looking forward to answering all of your questions a bit later on, and I hope you've learned a little bit about civil service just now. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jess. That's great. Brilliant. Thank you very much. So the speaker from our final organisation today, Tackling Organised Exploitation Programme, is Lucy Rogers.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Lucy Rogers. I'm the Intelligence Development Manager for TOEX. TOEX is the Tackling Organised Exploitation Programme. We're a really new, exciting capability within the policing environment, so really pleased to be talking about it today. We've actually been running for a year already as a pilot, so a test year. So we already have teams in 3 areas, but following a successful bid to the Home Office, we're now going to be rolling out nationally. So we'll have teams based in 10 different locations throughout the country instead of just the 3, which is fantastic. We're actually a new intelligence capability supported by data specialists, and we're going to be placed in the regional organised crime units. For those of you who aren't familiar with that, the ROCUs, as they're known, are where the serious policing takes place, I guess, for want of a better phrase. So any issues that police forces can't deal with, so typically serious and organised crime, get supported by the ROCUs to help to tackle that, and they have specialist expertise and specialist skills that will help the police forces to solve and to tackle that problem. As our name suggests, we're there as a capability to support any jobs that relate to organised exploitation. So think modern slavery, human trafficking, organised child sexual exploitation, county lines, and I'm sure there'll be something new around the corner that doesn't fit any of those definitions that we'll be ready to help with. Think back to the Essex lorry deaths in 2019. Modern slavery in particular has become a real priority for forces, but because of the nature of how organised it is, quite often it's international. Police forces cannot deal with it alone. ROCUs cannot deal with it alone either, and so that's where TOEX have kind of come from, to offer that dedicated intelligence capability to look at these massive organised networks. These jobs do require vetting, which does mean you need to have been in the country for 3 years, not 5 as it says on the slide there, so I do apologise for that, but that is a policing requirement, unfortunately. Through the pilot, we've really discovered that graduates are actually really great in some of the roles that we're going to be offering. It's always fantastic to have new ideas and new thoughts come into the organisation from people with different backgrounds and different experiences and different ideas. So we've got graduates on the intelligence side, so I'll talk through some of our roles in a moment, typically come from psychology, criminology, history, actually is a really good one for the intel side. And then for the data specialists, it's the people with the maths background, the computer science that need those data skills to help us in those roles. We do offer full training packages. We've recently been commended for the training packages that we offer, because as I'm sure you know, policing have taken massive cuts recently, but to us, it's all about the people. So it's about having people in the roles that are trained, that are skilled, and that have got the right software to support what they're doing. So pretty much all of our money that we spend goes on training for staff. So there are those full training packages available. You can get, if you're on the intel side, official intelligence professionalism, or IPP as it's known, accreditation, and there's career pathways as well. So you can start in one role and you can work your way up. You can go sideways if you're interested in different things, and you can move around as well. Across all of our roles, we're really looking for people with a natural analytical mind, professional curiosity, innovation, people that aren't afraid to try something new and come up with new ideas. Those that like to problem solve, and I'll come on to that in a sec, and those with a passion really to protect the most vulnerable members of our communities and to put the bad guys in prison. And I know that sounds silly, but it's why we do what we do. There are flexible start dates available, so we haven't actually advertised for many of our roles yet because we don't have the official go-ahead just yet, but they'll be coming out soon, and we can be flexible with regards to start dates. We've got 4 cohorts lined up, so people can fit into those when it's most convenient to them, and obviously that means that for those of you that are about to graduate, there are opportunities to join after your graduation date as well. So just to cover some of the roles, or the main roles that we're going to be advertising for that fit graduates really well. Researchers, research you will have all done. You'll all have the skills that will meet this, and it's actually how I started as well. I started as a researcher, having just graduated from my degree, and they really are experts in where to get information that we need on particular people. So they will know the best open and closed police sources to find out the information that we want to find out in relation to certain people that are causing those harms. The intelligence development officers will take that one stage further. So if Joe Bloggs isn't on the crime system, isn't on the policing system, how can we think of other ways to find out about this person? And whilst I can't go into some of the sensitivities here, police have ways and means of finding out information about people where there's a requirement to do so. And that's what the IDO role is all about. Intelligence analysts really want to focus on this because this is where graduates are really good actually at what they do, and they come with the skills. So this is about taking all of the information that the research, the IDOs, and then the data team, which I'll come on to, present to you, putting it together and saying, okay, out of all of this noise, what's the signal, what's the important message? So you as my client, I want to be able to tell you out of all this information, who's doing what in this organised crime group. What do we know? What theories can I build up that we can then test? What do we still not know? And we now need to go and find out more about that. and what do I recommend to you to take it forward? So it might be that I recommend that so and so is subject to different tactics, that we then have to go into other things. It might be that actually this is so serious an international threat that we need to go and work with a different authority to do that. And actually I'm flying international later this year to meet with different authorities to work around tackling this organised exploitation and organised crime. So this really is pushing the boundaries of what policing does. In terms of being innovative and taking it to the next level and making sure that we take out entire organised crime networks, not just those at the lower ends, I guess, that tend to be replaced quite quickly. So intelligence analysis is a fantastic career to go into. The data team is also there as well. So the data insight analyst, that's a really new role in policing and really, really exciting for us. So as I mentioned, this is really looking for people with a mathsy, computer science background. And these people are using programming skills, all the stuff, if I'm honest, I don't really understand, and data exploitation skills to make what we do on the intel side easier. So how can we get data better? How can we visualize data better? How can we use data in terms of proactivity? How can we use it to proactively find hidden harm instead of a customer saying to us, I know that Joe Bloggs is doing this, I want to know more. How can we find Joe Bloggs in the first place? And this is really exciting in terms of what they're bringing to the table. And we're starting to build some tools that we're sharing with the wider law enforcement community as well, presenting at national conferences, etc., on the work that we're doing. And there's a lot of excitement around TOEX at the moment. Conscious of time, so I won't go on and on. Just to say, we do have a Twitter page, so do follow us. There's our generic email box as well, toex@norfolk.police.uk, and you can contact me directly. I think the organiser is going to be sending out my email address as well. And we have launched only this month our new website at www.toexprogram.co.uk, where you can find out a bit more, see some of the case studies that we've worked on, and sign up for job alerts as well. So if there's a particular geographical region that you want to sign up for alerts for particular roles, you can do that through our website as well. So thanks for inviting me. I've just seen somebody's put in the chat, I'll answer it just while it's here. Is TOEX Norfolk based or regional? It's not Norfolk, it just happens to be where our headquarters are because we worked for the Chief Constable under his portfolio. So all of the teams are regional. So there'll be one in pretty much every county that you can think of. So there's one in Yorkshire, we've got the Met, we've got so East Mids, West Mids, wherever you can think of will be. So all around the country. And thanks for having me.
Thank you, Lucy. That was great. Thank you very much. Just whilst we're going to have a look at a bit of the questions and stuff now. So I'm just going to come out of presenting, I think, for a moment until we go back to the presentation. So are there any questions that haven't been answered in the chat?
There was some questions for Jess at Civil Service. What are the chances of the opportunities for international students? Or are there any opportunities for international service students, within the Civil Service fast stream? And also, can you apply to Civil Service as a placement, or is it just a graduate?
Thank you. Yeah. So in terms of the opportunities for international students, so you have to have right to work in the UK to be a civil servant, and more specific information about nationality requirements are all on the FAQ link that I've just posted into the chat. And in terms of opportunities for placements, yes, we do have a summer diversity internship program, and we have an early diversity internship program, and both of those are for people who from underrepresented backgrounds in the civil service. So again, I won't list all of the criteria because it is quite far-ranging. It's if you're from a lower socioeconomic background, or if you're from a BAME background, or if you're got a disability, then those internship opportunities are for you. And but that's not an exhaustive list. And check them out on the fast stream link that I've just posted in the chat. So yeah, there is opportunity for shorter placements as well as the actual graduate scheme itself. Thank you.
Thanks, Jess.
Thank you, Jess. I'm just having a look at the chat. I think thanks to the presenters, they've been answering quite a lot of the questions that have come in. So is there any final questions that people want to quickly pop in the chat?
Somebody's asked if there's a LinkedIn profile for TOEX.
Yeah, I've just answered that one.
Oh, sorry.
It is literally imminent, so we don't just yet, but it will be coming. So watch this space.
Fabulous, thank you. So if there's any more questions, if there are more questions that you have, there'll be a follow-up email going. Some people have given their details already, but there'll be a follow-up email going out early next week with various links to information and contacts. So look out for that. And if you've got follow-up questions, you can contact people directly. Yeah, I'll be sending those that information out early next week. So I'm just going to pop back on. We've got a couple of other things to tell you about. So I'm just going to pop on to the presentation. Just give me a moment. There we go. So Philippa's got some things to tell you about now.
Yeah, just more generally, I mean, thank you to all our speakers. That was brilliant. Next week is actually the second of our class of 2022 weeks. So we had one last semester and we've got one coming up next week. And basically that's a programme of workshops and events for anybody in their final year or anybody, a postgrad student who's going to be finishing in the next few months, or to be honest, any year group of students. So anybody that might be interested in coming along to these talks, be very, very welcome. But it is done with a focus around people who are going to be finishing at the university in the next few months. So a whole range of different things you can book onto. I'm going to do a special shout out for my own session, which is on Tuesday at 2 o'clock, psychometric tests and video interviews. That's just a short session to go through some of the basics with that and then explain how to get set up on our Graduates First, which is a free account you can set up for yourself to practice psychometric testing and also practice doing online video interviewing. But obviously lots of other things taking place, including our postgraduate open day. So on Wednesday evening, 4 till 7, we've got our postgraduate open day. It's actually on campus, so it's not online. So you can actually go and meet real people and go to talks and speak to other humans in person. And if you go to the SHU website and put in postgraduate open day, you will find it, and then you can book on to not just general sessions, but actually specific talks on particular subjects. So you can go through and choose things that you're interested in doing, and it will kind of set you up a program of talks and information sessions that you can go for. So that's next Wednesday, and then other events taking place, something every day next week. So definitely recommend you have a look at that. To register for any of those sessions, if you go to the link there that it gives you there, shu.ac.uk/class-of-week, that will then take you to more details and booking. And I'm assuming the link will probably go round with the slides as well later, tomorrow or whenever. Okay, so that's everything about class of 2022 week.
Thanks, Philippa. And hand over to Rachel now, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the fair we've got coming up and some other initiatives.
Yes, thank you, Alison. Yeah, we just wanted to also just talk about some upcoming events that we've organised. We have got the Spring Hallam Careers Fair. We've taken a hybrid approach this spring. So we've got an on-campus event happening on Thursday the 17th of March and a virtual event happening on Tuesday the 22nd of March. These are for companies, local and regional, that are actively offering placement roles, graduate jobs and paid internships. The registrations for the fairs open on Monday, where you'll be able to see a list of all the attending employers. So definitely make sure you come along to that. It will be held on the Thursday in the atrium, the New Heart space, and part-time jobs in Careers Connect. And on virtual, it will be held on Handshake via one-to-one appointments. The other thing I wanted to mention is Rise. Rise is a fantastic initiative within the Sheffield City region, and there will be jobs going live on Monday the 7th of March for a period of 3 weeks. You have a 3-week application window, and these are for graduate roles, so these are for final years and graduates, who wish to secure employment within the Sheffield City region. So these are specifically with SME businesses as well. So definitely take a look out on Handshake for them on the 7th. And Handshake in general, we just wanted to say that it is a fantastic tool to connect with employers, to follow employers, to message employers, to find any active live roles, placements, graduates, internships that you're looking for. You can filter, you can message employers, you can follow. There's a lot of functionality with Handshake, and you will need a student profile. So if you have created one and it needs updating, please speak to your employability advisor and the careers team just to find out a bit more about how to get a profile if you haven't already, and if you need any more help with using the system. Thank you, Alison.
Thank you very much. Well, that's us for today. I think there may have been a few more questions that have come up, so we'll maybe give it a couple of minutes and stuff for those to be answered. And as I say, we will be sending stuff out afterwards and include the presentation as well. And the recording will be available. So if you did turn up late, don't worry. We'll send a link in the email where you can see all of the presentations again and get the information from the chat as well. Okay, so is there any more questions? I'll just give a couple more minutes for any more questions. And whilst I'm doing that, I'll just say thank you so much to all our presenters. It's been absolutely fantastic to hear from you. And thank you for giving your time to come and tell us about all your opportunities. It's wonderful. So that's great. Thank you.
Sorry, just to save me typing, it's Lucy.
Yeah, hi.
Just to save me typing, I just might be quick to say, so I don't know if this is aimed at myself or somebody else, but the person asking about public health roles, I mean, if this is in relation to TOEICs, it's not about the subject that you've learned, it's about the skills that you have. So if you have research skills, bringing information together skills, analysis skills, then absolutely, people come from all different backgrounds in our team. So if it's TOEICs you're interested in, then yeah, please do have a look. Thank you.
Thanks, Lucy. So thanks again to everybody, and thank you to all of our students and graduates for attending the event and having an interest in the roles that are available. And do go on to Handshake and have a look at the other opportunities as well. Okay, and access the support from your careers support and your employability advisors. Okay, so thank you and see you at the careers fair.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Bye.